We've got a special episode of Mike Finch Show because we are joined by the biggest, baddest dude with no gloves on, throwing hands in bare knuckle fighting championships. Who is not excited to see the UFC veteran, absolute staple of heavyweight mixed martial arts, go over to the squared circle and throw down without the gloves on? Absolute pleasure to see you, Mr. Big Ben Rothwell. How are you, man?
That's quite the introduction, man. nice
You
stuff
deserve it.
here. Yeah, I feel like you ever see I think it was called A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger,
I
and he had
love
his
that
guy.
movie.
Yeah, and he had his guy. They had to do the pre-up before the match. You're my guy, man.
I need the Big Ben deep evil laugh. I need the whole thing to actually properly introduce you. But Ben, I've been a fan for a long time, man. I was watching you back in the IFL days. I mean, I watched your whole career all the way through, Ben. So really
You
cool
came
to
into
see
my
you.
gym fucking almost a decade ago when I first opened it.
You remember that?
Yeah, you stopped by.
That's right. And I brought my little shin guards and I had like 14-ounce gloves on. You were like, no. We spar with big ass shin guards over here and big ass gloves. And I was thinking, I'm like, well, why is that? As soon as I sparred with your guys, I found out why. You guys throw down in that gym.
Yeah, it's that's why I feel like bare knuckle became so natural, because I've been sparring like that, for 20. It's literally it's almost 23 years. In the first 5 years, we were just going crazy. I was here in town at a gym where I started, and we would just go crazy with not much technique. But the 6 years at Militish we were Militish for the period of time that I was there. We were considered one of the best gyms in the world.
That's right.
And I was sparring Tim Sylvia and other heavyweights, Brad Imes, and a whole group of guys, and we went at it like that. So I brought that whole culture with me here, and that was, it's a staple of what we do, and it's how we get ready. For me, I understand a lot of guys don't want to spar like that, because if you're getting hit in the head, no, I would say don't. It's not good for your health. But we work so hard on throwing like that, so that, like, hey, you learn how to defend yourself. Don't get hit like that. Keep
Right.
have good defense. And for me, it's like riding a bike now. So it's a big part of my training. It's for this. It's been a lot of fun, because I spar 2 to 3 times a week still. And
Really?
yeah, it's taking out the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling has just been my body thanks me, because that wrestling and jiu-jitsu is really hard on a big guy, 41-year-old's body. So
Got you. That's interesting, Ben. You're not the first person to tell me that, and I find that so interesting. Like I heard from one of the light heavyweights or the middleweights, I forget, but I just remember him saying, that he can focus more on just hands so that he could do other things. Like he has a full-time job, but he's still able to do bare knuckle fighting championships because it's just one discipline. And that didn't make any sense to me, because I'm thinking, you guys are getting in a fist fight, you got to be in shape, you got to spar. So is the wrestling harder on your body when you train for bare knuckle fighting championships? You feel like you come in healthier?
100%. I don't see. I didn't change. I didn't go work a job or nothing. I still have the gym, and I still train the same regiment. Strength conditioning 3 times a week. Still at my gym. Like I said, we still spar 3 times a week. I still hit pads with the pads coaches. Do all that stuff. It's just, in the 3 sessions, it used to be like one really hard sparring. One was very MMA oriented with the takedowns and everything, and one was very jiu-jitsu oriented.
Gotcha.
That was a week. Now it's all striking. You know what I mean? Now it's just I get to focus. I still try to keep that same kind of output, but it's just all bare knuckle oriented. But for me, you know what I mean? That's doing the extra stuff is hitting pads and sparring. And it's just like, dude, I'm not taking any damage. Like I said, my limbs, my joints, like literally one jiu-jitsu practice now, dude, I was sore for days, and you're just sore the whole time because you never really get a chance to heal.
Yeah. Oh, I'm preparing to go compete at ADCC trials right now. I could, my whole body hurts, Ben. Everything's twisted. They like to do heel hooks in professional grappling now, so I got to get ready for heel hooks. I got guys on my legs. It definitely takes a toll on the body. Ben, I feel like you almost haven't even made your bare knuckle debut yet. 19 seconds, you got Bobo O'Bannon out of there. Was that even a fight? Does this feel like the first time you're really going to get to try this out?
Listen, it seems like I was just talking about this earlier. I was reading the comments. If you guys watch the fight and count from the point when the ref says start to when Bobo drops, it's like 4 seconds. I'm not trying to talk shit, but it's like watch the fight and like tell me if I'm missing something here. But I watch it, I count the punches. He falls down, and then there's a 10 count. It's like 13 seconds total. So I don't know. So for me, no, I haven't really had to do anything yet. I'm really looking for this next fight because, Watson's pretty high on himself and he's feeling good. So he wants to come give me a scrap. And, well, I'm ready to show the bare knuckle community what I'm all about.
I think you're going to get the opportunity to do that because Josh Watson is coming off of one of the biggest performances of the year so far in bare knuckle fighting championships. He knocked out Greg Hardy into another dimension. He did that by rolling under the big wide hook of the big man Greg Hardy, and he came around with his own shot and just put him out. I absolutely loved that highlight. I've been breaking it down for some of my students. I really like the way he's rolling under the big man. And what's interesting is you're the same size as Greg pretty much. You're 6'4", Greg's 6'5". I don't know. You guys seem like the same height for me. When I stand next to you, Ben, I feel like I'm not looking at a human. You're like you're another evolution. I don't know. You're a big guy.
And my fighting style is completely different from his. It's completely different, and I can't wait to show that because I got a good idea what Watson's planning to do, how he fights, what he's going to have on me, and it's not how it's going to work out for him. I'm not Hardy. I don't throw hooks like that. A lot of mistakes made on both sides, but Hardy's biggest mistake besides that shitty technique is he completely overlooked Watson, and he went in there like it was a sparring match. This is not a fucking sparring match, dude. This is its own thing, and that's really what I'm set out to prove this year to everybody. I'm like, this isn't any other sport. It's fucking bare knuckle. I felt so natural here. Like I said, I don't want to talk too much because, like, who the fuck are you? You've only been in there for not even a minute. But people don't understand is I started out as a kid fighting all the time. And there was no refs. There was no fucking hand wraps. I was fighting to defend myself. And that was why I got into MMA. I started my first MMA fight. I was 17. I already had a bunch of fights. And I had some fights after that because you're 19 years old. Yeah, you're a fucking when you're 19 years old and 6'4", you're a target to every man, every dude's like, who the fuck is this dude? So I had to fight all the fucking time until in my 20s, basically before the IFL, when I went to Militiches, that's when it all kind of stopped and people started to talk and people were like, yeah, don't fuck with that guy. And luckily I haven't had to really do anything since then.
Right? Yeah. I can't imagine too many people picking on you, Big Ben. But getting back to this opponent of yours, Josh Watson, he likes to get underneath the big guys. So what you're telling me is you're not going to be throwing the kitchen sink like Greg Hardy was throwing from his grandma's house. You're a much different fighter. I know that from watching.
When I watch the fight, I don't see that at Hardy. I seen him very playing tit for tat. That's what I call it. When two guys stand on the line and they try to go back and forth, very boxing like. And Watson on the other hand was like, no, he got in and made it dirty. Yeah. So I didn't see Hardy throwing like that. I think that was what he needed to do. He needed to throw the kitchen. The motherfucker didn't.
I see. I'm going to be breaking down this fight for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships betting show, BK Bets, Bare Knuckle Bets, and we've got to give predictions. So help me out, Big Ben. How does this fight go down? Is it quick, or are you guys going to have a great toe-to-toe fight?
I'm not big on talking because I want to get in and show it. I've tried to be stoic about that. But just like I said about Bobo, there's no difference. Watson's never been in the fucking cage or fight with someone like me. And that's going to end badly for him. Like, everybody knows how I fight and what I'm doing. You know what I'm coming to do. So, doesn't last long.
Well, one last thing on your opponent. When I watched that knockout of Greg Hardy, I was impressed. Were you impressed?
Yes, because they made him a 10-1 underdog, and he said, fuck that, and he wanted to make a name for himself. This fight, I was basically there. Hardy was supposed to go in and win, and I'm pretty sure they were setting me and him up. And Watson fucking, shut him down. I always did like it because I like it. Like, I'm kind of representing the MMA guy, so to speak, and
Mm-hmm.
Watson's kind of represents the pure bare knuckle guys. And now we're gonna clash. Like, he beat one of them, and I've kind of beat one of them. So now we're gonna have the fucking showdown.
Any chance this fight goes to a decision?
I highly doubt it. No, in my gut, no, this is not going long at all.
Yeah, there's big consequences in there with you big guys. Okay, so you're in the heavyweight division. Let's say you do get this knockout in the first round and you move on. Right now, Alan Belcher came up. He's a big boy now. He used to be a 185er in the UFC, and he's got the heavyweight title in bare knuckle fighting championships. And Juggernaut, a guy with 2 other belts, is trying to go all the way up and challenge him. I'm seeing 2 small heavyweights at the top of bare knuckle fighting championships. How do you see yourself potentially matching up with these smaller guys?
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity for me and Watson. Obviously, for him, it's his biggest fight. For me, I need the performance because I need to go in front of any fucking crazy shit like that happening. I'm the heavyweight. Belcher has to take on all challengers, and I'm the fucking challenge. So that's, I know I have a big job to do April 29th, and it's all for the end game. And obviously, take my spot as the heavyweight champ.
I mean, you're the real heavyweight in bare knuckle fighting championships. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's why this means a lot. Like, I have to come represent the heavyweights.
That's a wonderful story. If that's the way this goes, Big Ben, you go over from mixed martial arts and you become the best bare knuckle fighter in the world. I could see the blueprint. I could see it like it's the future. A matter of execution, though. I mean, I do think Watson, is an interesting test for you because he's the shorter guy. You probably disagree with me, but tell me if I'm wrong. It reminds me of the way Fedor used to fight big guys. Fedor Emelianenko was always smaller, but he'd whip shots underneath the big men. It seems like he's been able to do that pretty well, but like you said, you're a different type of fighter for him. So I'm super excited for this fight. It's got to get you more excited than Bobo did. No, I think this will be a good one.
I mean, absolutely. It just keeps ramping up. So it's the next step. Each one of these fights is getting a bigger deal. I mean, look at this card. This is the biggest bare knuckle event ever. And I just kind of came into this and I get to be on it. So it's a huge opportunity. I'm fucking stoked to be a part of it and be on this biggest card ever. Awesome. The sport's blowing up. And like I said, man, just to be a part of it. And it's a huge opportunity. There's a lot at stake, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So Dave Feldman posted today. He said that there's some big news coming. Did any birdies chirp in your ear? Do you know something I don't, Ben?
I hope it's something to do with the broadcasting of this event for April 29th. So I'm a bit in the dark as much as you, but I haven't seen anything posted or whether all I knew is in the back burner that was a big deal is, where does bare knuckle go at this now? From its app, how do we get in front of the people? Well, obviously it's a broadcasting partner. So I hope that's the news. And then if it is, and he's posted that today, how excited he is, that means it's a big one. And that's just fucking awesome for all of us.
I cannot wait to hear it. Hopefully something happens at this press conference you told me you're about to fly out to, because I'll have my ears glued. I'm really interested to see what that announcement is. It would be nice to put you guys in front of as many people as possible because the card is absolutely stacked. And bare knuckle fighting championships, it's on the way up, right? I mean, it's got to be interesting to be a part of something that feels so new. I mean, how much different does it feel being in a new sport here? I think the future is very bright. It seems like this is going to be on an upwards trajectory as we go.
It's those live events. So after mine, all my people that came to watch me were just like, this is fucking awesome. There were so many finishes. You hear it's the sound of the punch, all of that. And right after that fight, I went to the Denver show after, and the crowd, the fans embraced me, man. I love being with the fans. But I get to ask them all, they're getting photos. And I'm like, okay, but what did you guys think? They're like, Ben, this is the first one we've ever. This is fucking awesome. This was so fun. So I was just like, That's it right there. When people go to a live event and have that kind of impact and they remember it the rest of their life and they want to start watching, I'm like, this is it, man. This is exactly what it takes, and this means this sport has one direction, up. Like we're going to this. The problem with a lot of people is a low attention span. I obviously love jiu-jitsu as my discipline to self-defense. Like I have to protect myself. I love that I'm a mixed martial artist, but we're entertainers at the same time. And sometimes you get a wrestler that wants to kind of lay on a guy for a few rounds. Well, the general public kind of like, they don't like it. Let's just be honest. They don't like it. There's none of that in bare knuckle. It's 2 minutes of fucking two guys throwing to kill each other, and people love it.
I love it. I haven't even seen it live yet, and I can't wait. I've been hosting the bare knuckle.
You haven't even seen it live, and you're like the bare knuckle podcast guy here, man. Like
always on my laptop or my TV. I cannot wait to go live.
Are you going April 29th?
I'm crossing my fingers. They're
really
flying me out. I'm knocking on the door.
You really should.
Okay.
There's an event to go to live. That's probably the one.
I want to see a Ben Rothwell fist fight live. Yes. Count me in. All right. The card is stacked. You mentioned it, man. How fun is it to be on this card? I mean, we got Luke Rockhold making his bare knuckle debut. He's taking on Mike Perry, who's been there for a while. The lightweights are going to get down. Eddie Alvarez and Chad Mendez. These are fun fights. When you look at this card, what are your thoughts on what Dave Feldman put together here?
I mean, the guy just keeps raising the bar, and it's like, obviously it's a historic moment for bare knuckle because those are big signings. All four of those guys are bringing eyes, and like I said, I already threw out a props to Platinum Perry. We all respect Luke Rockhold. We know Platinum's got a super tough fight and all of that, but I'm always got Platinum's back because he's the first one to come in here and really got Dave like, hey, I need to, signing these bigger guys and doing things. So he did all that, and he performed well, and then he went overseas, beats MVP. This thing he just helped blow this thing up more and more. So he's kind of, in my opinion, he's the bare knuckle star right now. And he basically, I kind of feel like probably had something to do with me getting my opportunity. So I came in, I'm trying to make the most of it. I'm trying to back him up. And it seems like when people see me fight, they got excited. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat. And now, we know Eddie and Chad Mendez know how to fight. So that's going to be a hell of a fight. They both got a big fan base. So just all, I mean, props to Dave. I mean, those are the right moves in my opinion. And he's blowing this thing up, and he's going to have a lot of people watching April 29th.
Who's your favorite bare knuckle fighter to watch?
Okay, I already said I like Platinum for what he's doing, but I am impressed by a guy. His nickname is Go-Go, and I'm really impressed by that guy because he came to Denver on a 4-day notice, had a fucking brawl with this Russian guy. I mean, they just killed each other, and it was like, holy shit. And then I got to know the backstory. He came in on a 4-day notice, and then he's just been picking up wins ever since. The guy goes out to be exciting and throw hard, so he's fun, man. He's good. I think he's going to help build some more fans, too.
I'm going to have Gogo Slaveski on the show next week. Super excited to talk to the guy, a Moldovan beast, absolute, very exciting fighter, and there are plenty of those in bare knuckle fighting championships. All right, before I let you go, we got to talk about Condemned Labz supplements. I've seen you out there training with Yari. Are you taking it easy on my guy Yari, first of all?
I'm out to make him better. Like he's a student. He loves fighting. He loves combat sports, and absolutely, like, he's making the drive. Like, at first, he kind of was like, you're 40 minutes away, and I think he was hooked the first time he got by me and my guys, and now he's full time with Carlos, our boxing coach. He comes to me 2 to 3 times a week. So Yari's all in, man, and we love guys that have that kind of energy, and he loves combat sports, and he loves boxing. So trying to help him, man, make him the best he can be.
Yari's a great human being. He sent me a care package to start. I got to try Locked Down, the creatine mix from Condemned Labz. Ben, I have never tried a supplement that's helped me more. I've noticed throughout your career, you've put on a lot more muscle. What's your favorite Condemned Labz supplement?
Let's Condemned Labz it up, man. We got the essentials, dude. They're branched chain amino acids, obviously kicking ass. Convict, amongst pre-workouts, we were just talking about this before. dude, I've done a lot of pre-workouts, and anybody takes Convict knows, like, oh, you get your money's worth for sure. They up the game. I call it Humana Slim. It makes Yari laugh. It's Huma Slim, but it's the digestive, and anything that helps you with recovery and digestion is such a vital thing for us. A great product for, obviously they got a very big bodybuilder market, weightlifters, but they're getting into combat sports, and that product is awesome for athletes in general. Anything that's going to help you break down and help your recovery is really a big deal. So, like you said, they're just keep Condemned, just keeps pushing the ball, they're coming up with new stuff and doing a great job. So yeah, happy to back them up, and yeah, they're kicking ass.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely made a difference for me. I don't know if you've tried it yet. DNA Dispatch, the pills, and then the lockdown creatine and glycerol powder mix. I can't believe what a difference it makes. I mean, back in the day, did you take supplements, and what's the difference you feel on the Condemned Labz supplements?
Yeah, like I've been taking, like way back when I was a kid, I've been taking creatine. You know what I mean? And all the proteins and all that stuff. Speaking of which, Condemned, I haven't got to try it. They're about to drop their version of whey protein. So I'm excited for the flavors and what they have. Obviously, with all these other products, they're putting out such good thing. I'm excited for their whey proteins that are about to drop.
Me too.
But when I call it adult Kool-Aid, the essential aminos, branching amino acids. They got like fruity colors. They don't use any color, any dye. I know a lot of people are like dye crazy because they don't think they're very healthy. Well, they made all their products are clear, and they taste good. And that's again recovery. Recovery is a big deal for us. So branching amino acids and stuff like that, it's all recovery based. And sometimes you just want something to drink. You don't want 300 milligrams of caffeine. Well, that doesn't have any of that. So you can drink that any time of the day, and that's why I call it adult Kool-Aid.
Adult Kool-Aid, Ben Rothwell. They need to rename it for you, man. They need to make your own with you with the bare knuckles on the front. Adult Kool-Aid. I like that a lot. That's good branding there, Big Ben. All right. Plug yourself, Ben. I know people out in the Kenosha area watch this show. I got a lot of friends around Chicago. If they want to come train with you, you're running that gym in Kenosha, right? You're inviting people to stop by?
Yeah, Rothwell MMA. But it's probably going to soon become Rothwell MMA and bare knuckle boxing.
Hey.
We're trying to. We're really cool. I've been talking with the state commission. Bare knuckle has a full presentation set up for the legislation to get it approved. And I had my 9th show, MMA show, and as soon as it gets approved, besides bare knuckle coming here, I want to start throwing bare knuckle fights too. So obviously, it's going to be a big part of our gym to start training people for both. Incredible. So yeah, Rothwell MMA, Kenosha, Wisconsin. Check us out. Check us out online.
Stay up to date with Ben Rothwell. You guys see it right under there at Rothwell Fighter. Big Ben Rothwell is going to step into the squared circle in a couple weeks' time. He's going to be against Josh Watson on the most stacked card in bare knuckle history. And we're keeping our fingers crossed that this thing might be broadcast on a whole new level. Ben, I appreciate the time so much. Thank you for coming by, my friend, and best of luck to you.
I appreciate it. Can I drop one more thing when you asked about my favorite fighters?
Hell yeah.
Dude, I don't know why. I was just throwing gold. Dude, you got to give Juggernaut props in that last knockout. Lorenzo Hunt. And I mean, the guy, I got to be in the locker room with him on October 1st, so I've got to know him better, and I think he's fucking hilarious. But the guy's a hell of a fighter as far as bare knuckle goes. Two division champ on top of it. So I just want to throw out some shout out. Even though he's trying to come fight with the heavyweights, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to fight me. So that's why I get the belt and tell him just to worry about those other 2 belts.
I don't know, man. If he challenges for that heavyweight title against Allen, if you win, I don't know. I could see a Rothwell versus Juggernaut fight. So, you got to keep that in the back of your head, my friend. No, I was impressed with the knockout for sure. But in his own words, Ben, as soon as that fight was over and they were in the back, Juggernaut went up to the Marine, Mike Richman, and he's told Mike, he said, I never got my ass whooped like that before. I mean, Mike Richman was out there really tagging him up. Were you as surprised as I was with the first 30 seconds of that fight?
That's why the fight was so exciting, because literally Mike fucking had him in a bad spot. Like a minute, 45 seconds of Mike catching him, hitting him. He got him in the body. He had him backpedaling. I mean, I think he shocked a lot of people except himself. He knew what he could do, and he was looking really good. I like both guys. I mean, I like watching them both. It was a hell of a fight. Juggernaut got the props because he's the one that got the finish. You know what I mean? But they're both good. They're both really good guys. I think they're both hell of fighters.
It was an incredible finish. What I learned from watching that, Ben, was Mike Richman laid on the gas pedal too hard when he had Juggernaut hurt. They gave Juggernaut the standing count. Juggernaut came back, and what Mike Richman did is he launched at him like a SpaceX rocket. I think if he would have taken his time, that could have looked a lot different. Did you see the same mistake I did?
I mean, yeah, he came in just with his hands in the wrong spot. There's two things there. He came in with his chin out, and it was bad. But the way Lorenzo threw that too, I mean, that right hand was fast. He dropped it and he threw that fucking thing fast. For as hurt as he was, I was impressed with how fast he threw that thing. It was not a lucky punch. That thing was money.
The whole fight was money. I mean,
it was
you're
a great fight.
Somebody to bare knuckle fighting champion.
That's what I'm saying. Fights like that.
Fight.
Yeah, those are the kind of, and seeing it live, I can't even imagine what that was like live.
I cannot wait to come see some fist fights live. I hope I'm there for your fight, Big Ben. All the best. So good to talk to you, man. Thank you for spending some time.
Right on, my man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Big Ben Rothwell, ladies and gentlemen. Root him on. He's going to be stepping across the squared circle from Josh Watson. Peace out, Ben.